Those guys look nuts. That's why nobody will invade the USA. Dude, nobody needs to invade the USA. The biggest danger to America is Americans. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town from dust. A special thank you to my patrons NQS and McPuffin, and to YouTube member Holly Miller for supporting the channel and supporting my content. Thank you. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Excuse the sunshades, I started a diet recently and have also mostly cut out caffeine, so I've had a headache for the last 3 days, and today has been the worst of those 3 days, and my recording light is really bright, so sunshades. Another thing to mention before we begin is not to date the episode, but this is being recorded a couple of days before the US election, which means that I don't know what the results are, but this video is coming out after the election. So that doesn't mean, however, I'm not going to put Trump posts in here, because you can't make a insane people Facebook video and cut out 2/3 of the insane people. So they shall stay regardless of what the results are. I don't know yet. So this, immediately going into this, we have a big old triple whammy of posts. So we have Donald Trump saying, "Our numbers are looking very good all over. Sleepy Joe is already beginning to pull out of certain states. The radical left is going down." Sleepy Joe, yeah, he pulled out because his coach was attacked, which leads me to the next post of Donald Trump posting a video of said coach surrounded by trucks being driven off the road, creating roadblocks, doing a variety of definitely non-democratic things. And Donald Trump responds to this video with, "I love Texas." He's not even trying to hide it at this point. Followed, finally, by President Trump on Biden bus incident in Texas. "You see the way our people, they were protecting his bus yesterday because they're nice." He's either just really, I don't even know. I don't believe that he believes that, but if he does, he's delusional. But he's clearly encouraging attacks on the opposition, which, is that really the kind of president you want ruling your country? This will not be the last we see of Trump in this video, or at the very least his supporters. US Marshals recover 27 children in Virginia after 5-day operation. Why isn't this on the news? They write in a reply to an article on a news site. Like, it is in the news. You're responding to a news report. What? I said he'd be back, and here's another Trump tweet. Joe Biden called black youth super predators. They will never like him or vote for him. They are voting for Trump. Now, fact check real quick. It was Hillary Clinton that said that. How can you expect a man to lead a country when to him every opposition and every person that stands against him is apparently exactly the same? He's merging them all together. He doesn't really have the mental faculties to differentiate anymore. Not really good presidential material. That isn't to say that Biden's especially good presidential material. He is almost 80 years old. However, at least he's not Trump. I don't think Pope Francis reads the Bible. Okay, you were a funny man. Lol, not kidding though. I don't think the most powerful religious leader in the world even reads the book that he preaches. These are the kind of people we have living in our world. Oh my gosh, I don't think the Pope reads the Bible. What? That's the dumbest thing I've heard today, and I've looked at Trump tweets. Harvard University Law School class of 2021. Looks like gang members to me. That's not even a veiled attempt at racism, but it's a law school class. It's the opposite of that. They're practicing law. They're practicing justly putting the people that deserve to be arrested, fined, or put in prison with those things, and those who don't, not. That's the opposite of a gang. That's literally the complete opposite. They're law class. What? Oh, my headache's only gonna get worse. Oh yeah, no, there it is. Oh, Biden is a proven Castro puppet. Vote Trump. Who is gonna tell him Castro is dead? You know, Biden, he's just being puppeted by Castro from beyond the grave, you know? All them communist Satanists bringing Castro back from the dead just to puppet Biden. It's a real issue, don't you know? He gets less and less sane by the day. Oh, this is gonna be a great video if he wins, isn't it? Not every Democrat is a socialist, but every socialist is a Democrat. How can you claim to be a politician? At least, I assume that Marco Rubio claims he's a politician because he's wearing a suit and is stood in front of flags. How can you claim to be a politician or claim to know anything about politics if you do not know the definition of Democrat or socialist? Alright, so let me break it down for you real quick, because the Google definition of Democrat is someone that strongly believes in democracy, and a socialist is someone that believes in that worker labor should be owned by the worker. I'm not sure how those two really link together, and I'm also not really sure how either of those two things are a bad thing. If all labor and manufacturing was owned by the laborers as a whole, as a community, then we wouldn't have workers being exploited, for example. Have you considered that? Because that's the way forwards. Imagine just for a second, right? You had the financial freedom that you could survive without a job, which means if you work in a job that mistreats you, treats you poorly, or the conditions are bad, you have the financial security to be able to leave that job and look for another one and not end up on the streets because of it. Imagine how working conditions would change. Imagine how employers would have to change the conditions to make them better to entice workers in. How is that ever a bad thing? How is better working conditions, better pays, and better financial security for everyone ever a bad thing? And before you say, oh, but some people might exploit this system, name a single system in anything ever that hasn't been exploited. You know, capitalism, that thing that you seem to think is amazing. Have you heard of the top 1%? It's exploited by people. If you are really willing to throw everyone under the bus because a couple of people you don't like would benefit from it, then that says a lot more about you than it says about actual socialists. Rant over. Holy full moon! I had a random guy in my apartment last night who worked for NASA and says, yes, the Earth is flat and there is a dome. He said NASA is nothing but smoke and mirrors. Kapow! Yeah, then the conversation got weird. Really weird, but very interesting. First of all, who do they think is gonna believe them that they had an actual NASA employee? Like, come on now. Why was not only a random guy in your apartment, but a NASA employee in your apartment? And second of all, right, don't you think that if NASA was really smart enough to completely cover up the fact and give undeniable proof that the Earth is round, even though it's not, do you think they would be so dumb as to tell a flat earther that the Earth is really flat and it's all a ruse? What are you trying? What? Nobody believes you, is what I'm getting at, because they're smarter than that. Even if the Earth was flat, they would be smarter than that. However, there is undeniable physics evidence that proves that the Earth isn't flat, it is round. People have been to space. First Halloween as a homeowner tomorrow. Candy bars, Smarties. Smarties are too good. I'm buying the cheapest bag of candy for the skins. Both bowls will be visible, one for the white kids and one for the browns. We've been nice for way too long. Even with the Gibbs, I'm taking care of my own from now on. Unveiled, just straight up racism from two people here. How are we not beyond this? It's 2020. How are we not beyond people believing in racial superiority? And furthermore, how are there still people that believe that if there is a superior race, it's gonna be white people? Oh, I get skin cancer, therefore I'm better than everyone else. Like, what? So, not only is the average IQ for white people not higher than other races, physically, athletically, white people are usually inferior, as shown by, like, any Olympics event. It's such a backwards statement. Nobody is superior to everyone because at the end of the day, we are all humans. The only difference is the amount of melanin in our skin. It's the equivalent of getting, say you buy a car and you're like, so I have the choice between buying a white car and a black car. They perform exactly the same in every way. They have the same tires, they have the same engine, the same mechanics. The only difference is the paint job. They don't even cost a different amount. The only difference is the paint job. However, I believe that the white car will outperform the black car in every single way because it is white. It doesn't make sense, does it? Marriages would have a lot fewer issues if women would respect the patriarchy. Oh, we are going backwards, guys. We are going backwards. Marriages would have a lot fewer issues if they didn't have men expecting women to just respect them because they're a man. How about that? How about people get married to someone that they actually can see themselves spending the rest of their life with, and maybe they'll stand a chance. This post reads like it was written by a fedora-wearing neckbeard. And the rioting hasn't even begun yet. Nothing like a good bit of patriotism, like running down your fellow brothers. Imagine being like, I believe in a better America, and that means literally murdering people that disagree with me. Like, oh, and they think that that's democracy. Boy, do I have some news for you. Well, at least this next picture is some genuine non-political insanity. How about that? When I first fell for Noodle, she looked like this. But to be fair, I was like 12. We grew up together, so we're basically boyfriend and girlfriend. Love you, babe. Happy birthday. Alright, look, I don't want to be that guy, but even if Noodle was real, let's for a second assume she's a real person. She's not gonna date you. She's not gonna date someone like you. Also, growing up with someone does not immediately mean that you're entitled to them to be your girlfriend, right? I grew up with a lot of boys and girls in the same school as me. That doesn't mean that I'm suddenly dating all of them, right? Does it? No! Pro-Trump protesters have escalated well beyond safe limits, tweeted one Texas House representative. Sorry to all who looked forward to this fun event. What can I say? That's my Texas. Again, you can't argue that it's a democracy if you're literally just chasing the opposition out of town, right? A true democracy is where everybody is given an equal amount of time to say their points, and everybody gets shown the same amount of screen time, they get an equal amount of publicity, everybody sees an equal amount of points come from both people, and the points they make are actually true and not made up. That's a true democracy. But unfortunately, as it currently stands in America, both sides are just fighting to make up the best points they can and then chase each other off the road. And that's not democracy. I mean, this is getting so close to fascism that it's not even funny anymore, is it? Really? Trump's supporters literally preventing Biden from having rallies by blocking roads and threatening them. That's literally as close as you can get to fascism without just straight up being fascism. The only thing that would make it fascism is if they were also wearing uniforms. That's the only difference here. Woman reportedly beheaded and 2 others dead in Nice terrorist attack. How can he be a nice terrorist if he's going around chopping people's heads off? Political correctness gone mad, in case we offend him. Nice is a place in France. Oh, it's another one of those people that just doesn't read before they comment. Just read articles, okay? It's not hard to find an article on Facebook, read some of it, and actually fact check before you comment or share it. Misinformation is a real issue and it's not hard to stop. So why do people not? Done. This is the last post, and thank goodness it's the last post. Heart disease and stroke killing nearly 4 times annually than COVID and is more preventable. First of all, how can you measure how many COVID has killed annually when it hasn't yet been a year? CNN devoted 0% of their airtime to holding Obama accountable for the 5 million deaths on his watch. The CDC says over half were preventable. You can't asymptomatically give people strokes by breathing near them, Brad. Also, let's not forget that for a long time, Obama was actually campaigning to improve healthcare and make it more accessible to people. You know that thing that Donald Trump tried to do the opposite of? Basically, Obama went, we want more people to get healthcare, so if there are issues, they can have access to it. And Donald Trump went, hey, if you're sick, don't worry about it, just go out and kiss all your mates. That's why. That's the difference there. One of them is actually spread to other people, and one of them... Please, by the time this video's come out and the elections are over, I really hope that Trump has lost. And, oh, please tell me that Biden's first call of being president is to lock Trump up for all of his crimes, because there have been many. And you know what? After the 4 years of Biden's presidency, how's about America? You start electing actually good candidates, you know, people that care about the country and care about other people. You know, maybe someone that's middle class and below the age of 60. That could be interesting, couldn't it? They actually know what's going on with the world. But no, you're just going to elect another rich 60 to 70-year-old who's just going to drag the country even further into the dirt. I have one request for you, America. I don't care who you elect, just don't bring the rest of the world down with you. That's where I'm going to end the video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you want to support me, you can click that join button below, or I have a Patreon in the description. I also stream over at Twitch every Thursday and Saturday at 8 PM UK time, so go check that out. Other than that, I hope you have enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.